Well, oh, hold on. I got a call. It's from my, yes. Buy more Dylan Samson shares. Yes. No. Buy more Dylan Samson shares right now.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Dylan Samson.
Stock on the rise.
On the rise as this news breaks. Now, there's still a lot that needs to go down. A lot that still needs to be known. There's so many ways this could go. The league, the team, there's so many different avenues this thing could head. But right now, if people are unaware, Quinshon Judkins has been arrested in Florida for a battery and domestic violence charge. According to the Schefter report, we're still trying to find out if he's still actually in jail right now, because it says right here from Schefty, right here it says that Quinshon Judkins was still in jail as of Saturday night, which is right now, and scheduled to have his initial court appearance Sunday morning, according to our records. Usually that means that the person's still in custody in jail, because they're going to have the scheduled arraignment or whatever that next morning, that following morning when things open. So this is not a good look right now. Here's another I guess this is potentially a mugshot here. Not good. Not good. I know a lot of Judkins people will be filing in and saying things like, oh, Smitty, you could be fine. Of course you're going to say that. And to be fair and to be honest, a lot of Dylan Samson people will be saying, buckle up, Buttercups, because Dylan Samson's on the incline. But there's still a lot that needs to happen. The dust needs to settle. But the NFL takes these things very seriously. There's two things the NFL take seriously. Gambling, on premises, and also domestic violence in domestic situations. So not a good situation. Not only that, but a couple days ago, there's a report that surfaced that Jerome Ford had his kung fu grip on the starting job. That wasn't something that I think fantasy owners, Judkins owners, prospective Judkins owners, or current Judkins owners wanted to hear. This has been a guy I've been very careful drafting. I don't mind him. I've been drafting him where underdog promo code Smitty on underdog. They'll match your first deposit 50%. That link I'll have in the live chat right now. It's in the description of the video. But I've been drafting him only. I haven't really even been drafting him in dynasty at all. I like Dylan Samson better. I always have. This is not something, there's the link right there. This is not something where I'm jumping on this train or I'm letting this bias right here influence me. Dylan Samson has always been the better running back. And it was acknowledged by me, unfortunately, and I was very honest about this. Judkins was in the better spot. Drafted higher, expected to be the first and second down back. I got what was going on. I understood what was going on. The assignment was clear. Dylan Samson had a steep incline hill to climb in order to get the starting job. But this is not a good start for a guy named Quinshon Judkins. Dylan Samson, very, very, very much
stock on the
rise. Not only does this open the door to Samson, okay, from a potential first and second down carry perspective, because of this situation, he might get more time. Who knows how the team's going to react? Who knows how the league will react? Who knows what this even turns into? Because this is the early stages. Dust hasn't even collected yet to then settle. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know if he's in jail still. It looks like he is. We don't know what the extent of the charges are. We don't know what actually went down. That stuff's still kind of coming in right now. But this isn't good. Also, the NFL does usually let criminal stuff play out, even if it's misdemeanor, domestic violence, even if it's a sort of total civil situation. It all has to play out in court before the NFL makes decisions. However, there are a lot of exceptions that can be made around domestic violence, around things that the league doesn't want a spotlight on, and they can commission or exempt list anybody. And what they do is they commission or exempt list people paid before they do unpaid. That way, they're kind of saying, step away and take care of this. Innocent till proven guilty, here's your paycheck, and you can commission or exempt anybody paid. So the commissioner has a lot of latitude to do whatever the hell he wants, by the way. If anybody thinks, so the league can do whatever he wants. The commissioner can do whatever he wants. So let's not pretend like there isn't a way that this we could see some sort of punishment. But the thing about this is the Browns are really worried about character. They're really worried about the way that they're perceived right now. I'm not saying they make smart decisions so they could go down roads that we wouldn't go down, and they could accept things that we wouldn't accept and not accept things that we would accept. And who the hell knows what the Browns are going to do? The Browns are probably one of the worst organizations in football. They're trying to change that. They're trying to figure it out. I'm not saying that the Browns fans are bad. My Browns fans out there, I commend you. Amazing fandom to stick with this team that has made some of the dumbest trades and dumbest contracts and all that. And look, I like Judkins. I do. He's a very talented James Cook. If everything goes right, and it's currently not. If everything goes right, James Cook is maybe his ceiling value, which you might say, Smitty, that's pretty good considering what Cook just did. But if you know me well, you know that James Cook is a Band-Aid of a running back one. He's a paper tiger running back one. He's a good player. He's a fantasy football starter, a second running back, an amazing flex play. Somebody that I think gets overdrafted, though. Somebody that can never become a consistent top 5, maybe even consistent top 5 to 10, running back. And if you take away all those touchdowns, and I'm not even saying all of them, but let's say you put him down to like 8 or 9 or 10 touchdowns, a reasonable amount. James Cook wasn't even a top, 12 running back last year. His yardage, he barely rushed for 1,000 yards. His carries were down. Not trying to make this a crap on James Cook show. I'm merely telling you that I don't see a completely well-rounded, 100% do everything amazing player here. I see a player that's good at this, good at that, pretty damn good at this, okay at that. And Dylan Samson, I've said this from January, well before the NFL draft, is arguably one of those players that could sneak into everybody's top 3 rookie running backs in hindsight. Oh man, looking back, we should have drafted. He's so good. He is so good. He is such an amazing player. And his jump stop game, his ability to change directions, his ability to completely stop on a dime, kind of like Kenneth Walker in Kenneth Walker's best form. If you can get your head out of Kenneth Walker always gets hurt when I make that comparison. Think of Kenneth Walker in the best light you can. That's what Dylan Sampson's capable of being. Kenneth Walker's always been a guy that could be a top 5 running back. So I'm not saying Dylan Sampson will be a top 5 running back. I'm not saying anything of the sort. I'm merely telling you that I've been sitting here just kind of like, why does this team always do things the hard way? You draft Shedeur so late that you can't even anoint him a player that gets the roster spot no matter what. You got to go the long way for everything. We get Deshaun Watson. Yeah, okay, you signed Deshaun Watson, signed him to the worst contract ever. Now you got to wait this long amount of time to get rid of him and start the quarterback process over again. The Browns do everything the wrong way and the long way. And you draft Dylan Sampson and Judkins. The better running back is Dylan Sampson. I've said that all along. And you got this long path for him to get to the lineup. Shedeur is the best quarterback. You draft Gabriel in front of him, and Shedeur's got this long path around. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense whatsoever, the way this team operates. But here we are. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know how this is going to play out. No one does. We don't know how bad this is. No one knows. We do know it's not good at all. We do know that Jerome Ford, let's put what we know on the screen. let's put what we know on the screen. Ford, these are red flags. These are the things going against Quinshon Judkins. Number one, arrest. The arrest does not help. Number two, currently being in jail right now, that doesn't help either. Number three, Dylan Samson, the Samsonite, the briefcase. Samson being on roster doesn't help Judkins at all. Samson being anointed, totally separate, red flag, being anointed the PPR machine of this future. The team's already said it. The sky is the limit for this kid. That is the words coming from Cleveland, the staff, the brass, the suits upstairs. Everybody knows that Dylan Samson is the PPR sky is the limit player. These are all horrible red flags standing in the way of Quinshon Judkins being what everybody wants him so badly to be. And then probably the worst flag of all, which hurts, Dylan Samson too in a way, but Ford is the starter according to certain reports. Again, we got to be careful when we see these beat reporters make these statements, but this doesn't make me feel like that report is going to be wrong. Right now, this is the experienced player, pass protection, third down, pass catching, solid pass catching abilities. Everything points to Ford likely opening the season as the starter now. Judkins is not the starter. If I had to make a determination right now based off of this news, in conjunction with the news we got the other day, that again is from beat writers, I get it, but it jives with my thinking, so I'm going to, biasly, but smartly, biasly accept said news when it corresponds with my thinking and decision making. That's how decision making works. That's how educated guessing works. It's not, oh, you can't say this, that's hypocritical, because that reporter said it, now you like his report, but not his report. Yes, that's my job. My job is to decipher, juggle, and look at everything coming in, digest it, and tell you what I think. That's all I do. That's what I do for a living. I sit here and I do that, and that's all I do. Am I right every time? No. But what I'm trying to tell anybody out there that's willing to listen with Quinshon Judkins, who I don't think you write off, I don't think you could say he has no shot to be a starter for this team. I just think all those red flags I just painted and put on the board there, that Samson's on the roster, plain and simple, that is a big problem. That Samson's been anointed the PPR future of this team. Sky's the limit. We've heard the verbiage constantly from the coaching staff. Number three, Judkins is arrested. Has that lingering over his head. Number four, he's in jail, I guess, right now, allegedly. We don't know if that is true or if he got released. We have more information coming in by the second. This is, less than an hour or so old. We have the fact that Ford has already been called the starter by boots on the ground. Again, beat reporters alone saying something without any of this other stuff might not hit home. But for me, my job's to look at it all. So Ford is likely the starter. That's known. Then Samson, the briefcase, the Samsonite, is likely the PPR starter. So Judkins is going to share work with Jerome Ford and Dylan Samson. And in a best case scenario for week one, this is a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 backfield. That's the only way we can look at it. Ford is probably the leader. I would say Judkins was the secondary third of this group. If we're to weigh it a little bit more than thirds, Ford gets a little more. Judkins was going to get a little more. Now Samson, being the guy they want to get in the receiving realm of this team's future, we're going to probably see him climb into this. And then Judkins is still in the mix. No one's saying they'll cut him. We don't even know what's going on. It could be this could be a complete botched arrest, and who knows? We don't have any of that information. I'm going to guess that it's not, but this is all something that is still coming in. Here's more report here. Quinshon Judkins appears to have been arrested. He faces charges of touch or strike, battery, domestic violence per the public arrest record, and it says touch or strike, battery, domestic violence. That is the description on the arrest record. That is interesting. There's more here. Let me see if I can find more on this. Judkins was still in jail as of Saturday night. That's coming from Schefter. There's a lot flowing in, and again, everybody's talking about it now. And there's not much more that we have update-wise. I'm just reading all these on the fly. I don't see anything other than this potential touch and arrest, whatever record. Battery's not good. Domestic violence is not good. Jonathan, none of it's good. None of it's good. And the only fear I have for this is that it gets worse. If it ends up getting better, I don't know how it could. Falsely accused. The police handled it badly, didn't wait for all the evidence. There's two sides to every story. This is the only hope. If Judkins, I'm not saying Judkins is out of the league. I'm not saying Judkins gets cut tomorrow if this doesn't end up being one of those, hey, there's two sides to every story type of situation. But I'm merely telling you that this is probably putting Judkins in the bucket of players that I've been telling you he probably is in, which is in the panic chamber, which is in a territory of player that had too much risk and red flags going for him anyway, with Dylan Samson, Ford being the starter, the Cleveland Browns making all the decisions. Judkins is in the panic chamber, no doubt about it. And you know who's not? It's going to be Dylan Samson, because his cost of entry is 17, 16, 18 round cost of entry. Judkins is going way too high. That will change, but he's certainly in the panic chamber.
You are in the panic chamber.
Now, where does Dylan Samson climb to? Where does the briefcase climb? Samsonite, where does he climb to in fantasy football ADP? I don't know. I don't think he climbs ridiculously high, because you got to keep a couple things in mind. Number one, you have a lot of people that are going to still be defending Judkins because of their dynasty shares. And so they're going to go to bat. They're going to be hitting comments. They're probably already in here right now. You never even know what's going on. Smitty, he could be fine. He's okay. He's going to be okay. You have him in 17 leagues. So there will be a big wave of people defending him, trying to protect his value because they have invested interest. But there are also going to be a lot of people that look at Ford and say, well, Ford's starting. I heard that the other day. So Samson can only climb so high, but he will climb. Does he climb to round 10? Does he climb to round 11? Does he climb to round 12? But the thing is, I venture to tell you that Samson is still worth probably any climb that he ends up enduring, because I don't think he climbs past the line in the sand where he goes from a backward a line in the sand. Grab him. He keeps climbing. Grab him. And then he climbs too high. My line in the sand cutoff where I say goodbye and we're on the pier waving to him, saying, you're going into the 7th round. Bye-bye, Samson. Appreciate you. That's what could eventually happen, but I don't think it will, because the Jerome Ford people, the I won't draft a single Brown type of people, and then the Quinshon Judkins defenders will all kind of keep his ADP as at bay as you can keep it. So right now, I'm going to say full sign off, smash the hell out of the Dylan Samson shares. And if you got to take him 3-4 rounds earlier than you have been, which has been round 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I'm fine with anything in double-digit rounds. Double-digit rounds are just fine by me. Let's go to the phone line. We got Joel live on the phone. Joel, what can I do for you? What do you hear? What do you say?
Yeah, I just got two opinions on this. I agree. Dylan Samson is the running back you want, and Jerry Jeudy is the only other Brown, obviously, I would say. Those are the two guys I want on the Browns. Otherwise, I'm just staying away.
Yeah, Browns are not a smart team to back. And even Jerry Jeudy's got his concerns. I mean, you can like him. His ADP is reasonable enough that I can understand and get behind that situation. Your boy has got a roster percentage ownership on Dylan Samson of 38%. Very proud of that number. My mom's proud of that number. She's making a rack of meatloaf in celebration of my Dylan Samson shares. Get that meatloaf ready! But Dylan Samson, let me throw that on screen. Love the oversaturation of Dylan Samson shares. And while people might tell you, there you go, look at that. 38%, $607 of entry fees. Allotted to 38% Dylan Samson shares. But here's the thing is, when people tell you don't oversaturate on players, it can bite you, but it could also reward you. And I'm not saying there's time to take victory laps on this situation. We have the meatloaf, Ma! We're not sure how it's looking yet. This is very early stages. Okay? Anything else, Joel? What else you got?
Yeah, exactly. It's really early. And one other thing, Judkins had a lot of carries in college, so I think he's a little bit older than people think coming in. So I'd stay away.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Later.
Call back. You got another one. All right. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Andy's ruining it for everybody. He's like, Smitty doesn't eat meatloaf. I don't really eat meatloaf. I eat a lot of breakfast. I love steak. Meatloaf can suck it, but it is what it is. Samson, really good, will take over for Ford in no time. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly possible, bro. I mean, there's a reason we've been talking Dylan Samson up since the beginning of time. And I think is he on the midseason monster list? Where do we have Dylan? There's the briefcase. Look at him. Look at him. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we've got some of the best, boards we've ever had collected here. I mean, this board looks fantastic. The midseason monster board alone looks like a victory lap in the making. Dylan Samson, I mean, we're just smashing. The Ray Davis, it's all going to come together. The Mason, we've been on Mason before anybody was even born. But Dylan Samson's looking fantastic on that midseason monster board. Is he not? Is he not making it? Like, look at it. I almost feel bad because I had to shrink him down like the last 3 or 4 times we added. People have been moving. Samson was probably the number 1 person on the board. I imagine he was added as the 2nd or 3rd added player.
I had to shrink him down like.
Okay. Hey, turn the background sound down there, big boy. All right, you're live. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? It's Rico Road, Chicago. I'm on the clock right now. Superflex, tight end, premium, and all 3 of the Triple H are there for me. Who do I take?
Who do you have so far?
My team, I have Baker, Cook, Dobbins, DJ Moore, Pickens, Mooney, tight end, Okoniko.
Wait. What? This is your team?
Yeah, this is my team. Who I have available for the 108 pick is all 3 of the Triple H available. I just want to know who.
But that's your team? That's the only players you have? You have James Cook. Read it off again?
Okay, yeah, I just took over this team.
Oh, okay.
So I got James Cook,
Yes.
Dobbins.
Hey, that team is bad, bro. We commend you for. I couldn't do that. This is like the equivalent of finding like a turtle with like a net around its neck, and you're diving in the ocean, and you're just trying to cut off that net, and it's snapping at you. There's sharks all around. You go into this team and try and revive that team right there. That's commendable. All right, hit me with the players available. You got all Triple H's available. So if anybody doesn't know,
where I'm at. All 3 in order.
In a jam.
Hunter, Henderson, Harvey, and
Triple
then
H and
Johnson, Loveland,
Associates.
Golden,
Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
but Hampton's not there. Hampton's not there.
No. Hunter, Henderson, and Harvey.
I'm gonna go. Chat, what are we doing? Your team. Read that team off again, at the risk of me puking. Go ahead one more time. and I don't mean bad things on Baker. Okay, so Baker,
No,
and then who do you got? You got
all right, I got
James?
Baker Mayfield, James Cook, J.K., DJ Moore, Pickens.
Okay, Pickens I like, but not as your wide receiver.
Mooney,
Okay.
Mims, and Bryce Young.
Oh God, is this Superflex, bro?
Yes, sir. Tight end premium.
Did they give you any sort of like, hey, you don't have to pay year one, like nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay year one.
All right. Yeah, drop a turtle emoji in the chat. This guy's a savior. It's the absolute humanitarian. I would probably say the nice part about Harvey is you got J.K., so you're kind of like giving yourself a real solid, no matter what option. But chat, what do you think? I mean, you need an RB, you need a wide receiver. I mean, you need everything. Cam Ward's still there, I imagine, or no?
Ward and Warren were gone. That's who I wanted.
We got one Harvey vote, one Hunter vote. Somebody said running back. I like Hendy a ton. You know that. Hunter's.
I think Romandra's going to get more work than people think, though.
Well, I mean, I don't think it even matters. I think that's like talking about Monty and Gibbs. Like Hendy's going to get the volume, bro. It doesn't matter how much work Ramondre gets.
Right.
I would say because you got JK and you're already taking over something that needs a prayer. I would take the prayer shot on either Hunter or Harvey. The thing about Hunter is if you grab Hunter, can he help revive this team by himself? No. Not that Harvey necessarily could, but at least you got JK, Harvey, and James Cook. You keep going from there. But, bro, I don't know how you're going to have to. Do you have first rounders that you could trade for the future? Or did the person?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I got one in the next 3 years.
Part of me wonders if you could scoop up like, yeah. Can you get the next pick as well? Is there any way you could grab Hendy, Harvey, and Hunter, giving up those picks somehow? I don't know. You turn this team around potentially.
I do got the 205 coming up.
I like this draft class a lot. I think it's undervalued. I would probably say Harvey's your safest bet. Hunter's your bigger swing, more risk. But because you got J.K., Harvey is probably the safest bet. All right, bro. I got to roll because we're in the middle of a Judkins. Not to say I don't want to have this conversation with you, but you're kind of derailing the topic here. So call back if you got another one, bro. Appreciate you. Harvey's my answer for now. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Jeez. All right. Back on point. Back on point. How many shares does everybody have of this guy right here? How many people are rolling with the Samsonite briefcase in 2025? Yeah, ask on Patreon too, bro. Definitely. Get on the Patreon. Vader's right. Patreon. If anybody's not on the Patreon's a 24/7, 365 live chat group that I've got. Hit this up right here if you haven't. $10 a month, cancel anytime. Try it for 1 month for the price of a cup of coffee. It's 24/7, 365. Not just live advice, but like just chat, bro. Having a bad day, jump on the Patreon. We're 24/7. We're always all chat on there. We live on there. We live on it. It's our home base. It's the community's home base. Judkins to Pluto, maybe. We call it planet Uranus around these parts, bro.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Judkins may be on this list. I would trade everything, including that pick, to get the slot in the, I don't know what you're talking about, the 27 draft class. Stop talking the 27 draft class up as if you know, like, you don't even know what pick you're getting, okay? You have no, when people start saying trade all your picks for 27, they heard it somewhere. Like, you can't think like that. You got to attack the now. You can't wait 2 years to play fantasy football. You know, like everybody trading for 27 picks is asinine. They heard it somewhere and they just keep repeating it. The movement's growing. This draft class is amazing. Why don't you take advantage of this draft class? Why don't you go get Hunter and Harvey and Hendy? This is a great draft class. Stop thinking too far in the future. This whole 2027 thing, it's like, yes, guys, 2026 is going to be a good draft class too. Don't let people tell you it won't be. Don't let regurgitators tell you 2026 is trash. The players haven't even played yet. What if you took Joe Burrow's last season off the table? Would Joe Burrow have been a good pick? Stop talking about 2026 when they haven't even played the 2025 season yet. A lot of the value from 2025 is, or from the 26 draft class, is going to come from the 2025 college season. So just stop it. It's ridiculous. It sounds asinine. Dial in. You want to talk Judkins, Samson, Browns? Let's try and stay on point on the next call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. BBQ's got a super chat here. $10 hauler gets a Mars shot. Thank you, BBQ.
To Mars!
For dropping that, young man. BBQ says, Judkins being held in jail tells me that the arresting officer saw enough based on observance of any physical contact. Holding him overnight until he can stand before a judge is SOP in Florida. Yeah, I mean, bro, this is like I was saying. We cover legal stuff on here and injury as good as you can because we've been doing this 20 plus years. And you know, with the Kamara stuff, with other, you know, Deshaun Watson, with other stuff, we cover it pretty damn well. We got 2 attorneys that we contact constantly. If any of my 2 attorneys are watching right now, Baked In Boys or what's his name? Damn it, blanking. If either one of you are watching right now, call in and we'll discuss this. But yeah, as I said at the top of the show, BBQ's right. This is what I said at the top of the show. The fact that he was still reportedly in jail and awaiting to see a judge, that is not good. This is not, you were like Antonio Brown with the weapons situation. He like got released. He was like he was detained and then they let him go. This isn't like he was separated. You know, they wrote him a citation and sent him on his way. It sounds like, according to Schefter's report here, and we don't have full confirmation on this, just what Schefter wrote, Quinshon Judkins was still in jail as of Saturday night, which is tonight, still tonight, and scheduled to have his initial court appearance Sunday morning. The initial appearance being the next morning. They do that because they don't want someone sitting in jail for 3 days and not being heard, but they can't have it now because it's too late. So the next available time is the next immediate morning, and that's not good. As BBQ's saying, to sit in there overnight, something was obviously very, very blatantly wrong, and it's observable. It was something that you could say, hey, I have it on my 15 years experience as an attorney, the understanding here that we need to make sure this guy's not out, roaming around right now. So who knows? And this is all alleged. This is all guesswork, speculation, but it feels like it's definitely not one of those, okay, 2 sides to the story. It ended up being, he was the one getting hit and he was just like defending himself to a degree, and then both sides of the story didn't get collected, and he was wrongly held. Whatever. Is that still possible? Sure. That's why I'm here being very careful about how I say it, to make sure you guys know that no one knows, but we can use educated guessing to say that he's sitting in jail now, awaiting a court like Jerry Seinfeld at the end of Seinfeld, waiting to see the judge because they can't release him. So, not good. I forgot. I got a caller on the line. I apologize. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty. This is Nick from Baltimore.
What's up, Nick?
Hey, I have a slow draft going on. I just drafted Judkins.
Yeah, Nick,
So
I
what
was about to hang up on you,
How?
but until you said Judkins. I thought you were calling in about your damn draft, which you are, which is fine, and I don't mind helping you, but we're in the middle of a Judkins situation, and you saved yourself. You're asking about Judkins. What a smart move. What a smart move, Nick. You can't put anything past Nick. Nick, hit me with it. I'm sorry. You just drafted Judkins. Go ahead. You shouldn't have. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I would just like to understand, where should I be drafting Samson, or should I at all?
Look, don't draft Samson just because you drafted Judkins. Draft the best player available. But what pick are you at right now? And who's available?
Hold on one sec. I think we're in the 8th round.
Yeah, I mean, don't go ruining your team because you're trying to fix a problem and pair, jailbird Judkins with Samson to just try and, patch this thing up. You got to make sure you're taking him at an appropriate place. Appropriate would probably be, if I had to spot check it now and guess right now, I'd probably say round 11, 12, 13, you start really looking at it. And what I mean by that is when you start looking at, okay, I've got Jailbird Judkins on the team. I don't love who's sitting there in front of me, okay? I don't love who's sitting there right in front of me. I'm going to go ahead and cuff this up. But the problem is what I just alluded to earlier. The boots on the ground, not always right, but in this case, I feel like it makes sense. So I'm going to Smitty approve the report, even though we don't always like beat reporters' reports or validate them. But Ford is currently set to be the starter. So you might spend all your money on this combo and not even have the starter in weeks 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Let me get. Here's a good example of somebody saying, "What about Jaden Blue or Samson?" I think that's getting closer to where you pull the trigger on Samson, but I think I still draft Blue over Samson. But that's about where once we get those players off the board, then Samson's the briefcase is looking great. The briefcase might be brought in to help, like an associate, open up the briefcase and save Jailbird Judkins in his court case. Samson might be the key to the case. The Samsonite. I love Samson so much. I'm not trying to oversell this thing off of bad news. Prayers up for even Judkins and everybody involved in the situation. I am not a callous person, and I do not want. This world is it's too messed up for not having everybody win. Everybody, including Judkins, including Samson, including every fantasy owner out there, every person living, breathing, speaking, everybody can win. I just want everyone to know that. But we are here to try and depict and dissect what's going on, and right now it's not looking good. That's the honest truth. So I don't know, bro. Once Blue's off the board, once you're in backup running back territory, Garendo's got to go first. You got to take, I'd even draft a Thornton first. Penix Jr., guys like that. I think Samson's going right after those guys. 50 gifted memberships from BBQ. 50 gifted memberships from BBQ.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. I don't even know.
All right, go ahead, Nick. Last question. Thank you, BBQ.
Yeah, I see that's probably going to be around round 13. I don't know his current ADP, but don't you think he's going to be going up where Tootin is?
Yeah, I think Samson and Tootin are now in the same bucket. Absolutely. Now, could that change if the news tomorrow morning is that his attorney comes out and says it's just wrongly accused, whatever. Who knows? Could it definitely return to normalcy? Yeah. You could buy Samson on this incline, and then he just craps the bed. That's why you gotta be careful. That's why I'm trying to pump the brakes. Don't get ahead of your skis. Stay loose. Stay liquid. Stay observant. Don't overdo this thing. But once Blue and Tootin, that's about where you should go. I'm not necessarily saying take Samson over Blue. I'm not saying take Blue over Samson. I'm just saying I would take Blue over Samson. Tootin, I don't know about right now because he's in the doghouse right now anyway already. So I kind of lean Samson, but you also have the Cleveland Brown effect. You also have Jerome Ford sitting right in front. You name Quinshon Judkins, maybe the team, the Browns, come out very likely they could go any direction, but they come out and say, look, we support Judkins and this thing's got to play out before we'll ever do anything. And let's say the NFL does the same thing. They might not. The NFL could commission or exempt list anybody paid. Hit that like button.
I really appreciate.
Yeah, 946
Yeah, 100%.
people. Yeah. All right, call back if you got another one. 946 people in here, sum total between X and YouTube. I went live on X as well. All my X people, get over to YouTube, though, because you need to subscribe. I don't always go live on Twitter. I sometimes do on major breaking news things, just to get people aware of the YouTube live streams and that we go live whenever news breaks. But please subscribe over on YouTube. And you're going to get the gifted memberships. 50 gifted memberships. They're still flying out right now. And if you aren't on YouTube, you're not going to get it. If you're not watching on YouTube, you won't get the gifted memberships. Man, I don't know. Let's hit a couple more phone calls on this. Tell me what you're thinking. Who's got Dylan Samson going to
the moon?
To the moon. Who is going to, fight and defend, like Karate Kid, defend the honor of Quinshon Judkins? The phone line's open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Look at him. Dylan Samson. Oh man. It's not a good situation. Not happy that this is happening, to be honest. I don't ever. We got 950 people in here. It's 400 from YouTube. The rest from X. Make sure you get on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe and get those gifted memberships that are being handed out. Yeah, Dylan Samson all day, says JSK. You ain't alone, pal. Dylan Samson going to the moon. And I don't think he climbs to an unreasonable value. I think the Judkins defenders, look at Debo. The Judkins defenders, why can't I write tonight? These guys are going to help keep Samson's ADP at bay. The Ford believers defenders will keep Samson's value at bay. And then the people that just want nothing to do with Cleveland, those people will keep the Samson ADP at bay. So at the end of the day, Samson can only climb so high. There are three groups of people that are going to help keep his ADP at bay, but it will climb. 100% will climb. It's just how high. And then we got another $5 hauler from BBQ. BBQ dropping fire tonight. Smitty nailed it. We need prayers up for Judkins. Bond. Yeah, Isaiah Bond. I know it's easy to give up on people, and if they're wrongdoing, they will face justice. Look, I couldn't agree more. And again, as much as I come off as a callous prick sometimes, I want nothing but the best for everybody. I want everybody to win. This is a world where there's too much negativity going on. There's too much. Everyone should win. Everybody can win. Everybody can smash. Everybody can be good people. Everybody can have fortune. Everybody can have love and kindness and rebound from any negative situation they may be in or put themselves in or somebody put them in. Everybody can rebound. Everybody can recover. Everybody can revenge tour. And I hope that for Judkins. I'm nothing against Judkins at all. But and thank you, BBQ, for the reminder on that. But Samson, like from the fantasy football show, my job is to try and promote players for you to smash your league so that you all can crush Best Ball Mania and win $2 million and retire. That's my job, is to try and help you be the best fantasy football player you can be. It's all done for entertainment purposes, though. Okay, so you do what you got to do with the information you get. But my point is that I still have to come in here and say, this is the guy. I can't sit here and go, but Judkins will be okay. I don't know that. I hope for it, but I don't know that. And that's where maybe the prick comes out. That's where maybe I become a callous-looking man when I come in here and say, it's time to celebrate the Dylan Samson season that is upon us.
Let him cook.
Doesn't mean I'm not hoping and wishing good things for Judkins and his rebound. Let me go to the phone line real quickly. I've got two people on hold. One, the Bruce, has been waiting a little bit, and then I'll go over to the Ron Navy. Bruce, you're live.
Hey, Smitty.
Yep.
I might be a little bit of a callous prick too, but in another way.
That's right, Bruce.
You know.
Yeah. What can I do?
You know, I'm off the Judkins train.
Yeah.
But do you think what do you do with the Jerome Ford? Do you think he climbs higher now too?
Yeah, Jerome Ford. It's a great point because we haven't really said that yet. You know, Ford's value definitely on the rise. He was free anyway. You know, like who has drafted Ford? Raise your hand if you've even drafted Ford. I mean, I've been drafting a little more of him since the report that he's a starter, but like I don't have like a crazy share of Ford. And Ford's a good player though, but it's not something that we can, you know, I think because there are two young rookies that got drafted for a reason, it's hard to have any sort of long-term hopes and dreams for Jerome Ford in Cleveland. But from a 2025 perspective, this could be one of those Chuba Hubbard moments. I'm not saying he'll be Chuba Hubbard, but keep in mind Chuba Hubbard was supposed to be a placeholder. He's supposed to be like a paperweight, and he never went away. Jonathan Brooks was drafted coming off the ACL. There was risk there. Everybody knew it, but they're like, this is Jonathan Brooks' season. I wanted every single time Jonathan Brooks' name was ever brought up on my channel, his rookie season, the first words out of my mouth was sell him. Sell him. He will not come back. Even if he does, he will not be ready. It'll take him a long time to get going. I never once told someone to go trade for Jonathan Brooks. And look, Chuba Hubbard is such an amazing player, and I'm not saying that Ford is as good, but let's be real. Ford has had moments where he's looked like pre-Chuba Hubbard. Now that everybody knows and loves Chuba Hubbard, Hubbard was a written-off man. He was a guy that got drafted. I was very high on him as a rookie, by the way, and then he just kind of got lost in the shuffle. Never really did anything, substantial, and then he was written off. There is a world where Ford somehow does the same thing, certainly, but I don't know that I'd bet on it because there's two rookie running backs behind him. But, we need to own a certain percentage of Jerome Ford at cost of entry. Sure, because he's practically free, bro. Denny, this one here from Sim Valley. Denny, are you stuck on the moon? We will come get you. Just say the word. Sim Valley's been in shambles without Denny. He's been literally grasping at straws. He's been looking for anybody in the chat that he can support and throw love toward because he, we got a bunch of super chats here that I still got to get through. I'm up now. This is from Rico. He called in. Rico, thank you for that $5 hauler, bro. Appreciate that. BBQ says, still trying to get over the turtle analogy, but since we are fishing, I would catch and release the team. Throw it back, kind sir. Thank you, BBQ. Yeah, that turtle analogy was spot on. I mean, that guy was a humanitarian. Taking on that team. That team was unbelievably tough to rebuild. Judkins being held in jail tells me, okay, we read that one already. Thank you, BBQ. This one, 400 people watching. Smash that like button, says BBQ. Thank you for that. This super chat, Smitty nailed it. I read that one already. And then Sim Valley, okay, I just read that one. So I think we are caught up. Bruce, real quickly before I go over to Ron Navy. Thank you, BBQ, for all the super chats.
Yeah, like I said, I'm out on Judkins, but like I said, I'm a prick, but for other reasons,
I love it. He loves it. Someone said that they might come off as a prick sometimes, and now Bruce feels right at home. He can't stop talking about it.
All right.
Yeah, Bruce is like, okay, yeah, I gotta go, guys. By the way, I'm a prick.
Yeah. So, right. I was just gonna tell you, right. Look, my best friend was a woman, and so
okay.
and her boyfriend did that to her. So I kind of feel for the woman if it's true,
All right.
That's why.
All right, hang tight, Bruce. Hang tight. Mute yourself real quickly. Let me go over to Ron Navy. Ron Navy, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. What's up?
What's up?
Well, here's the thing. And we know this to be factual. We know that pretty much you can do anything in the NFL and get away with it, with the exception of gambling and domestic violence against a woman.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that they will punish extremely on.
Yep.
They will ban people on it. On those two things, you can go out and you can almost kill a guy, but he didn't kill nobody. But if you do domestic violence, and it doesn't even have to be proven, right? Look at the Bills. They're punter, right?
Yeah, let's not get into too much detail. But yeah, okay. I hear.
No, but they released them right away.
Yeah,
because they didn't want anything to do with him. Well, come to find out, he was innocent.
Yeah.
So my point is I'm not like for or against. I think that we got to see what the situation is, but that's the one thing the NFL stays on top of constantly is domestic violence and gambling.
That's why I said from the entire live stream that the exact thing from the beginning of the live stream. I said that if you were going to gamble on premises or domestic violence, you could easily be put on the commissioner exempt list, even paid until they work it all out. Like, don't think that this legal process has to play out with gambling or domestic violence, because it does not. That's what I said at the top of the show. But I also said throughout that we have to be a little bit careful to wait for the dust to settle before we start claiming this or this or this as being true. But what we do know is that he's currently in jail, or at least that's what Schefter's wording suggests. He's awaiting to see a judge in the morning, which suggests that he is currently still being held. And none of that is good for his fantasy value no matter what. Even if this ends up playing out and he ends up being innocent, no one's here to suggest that that's even what we're going to talk about, or let's all come together and judge the man. We're just saying, does Dylan Samson benefit from this, even if it ends up being misguided, the whole thing? Yes. You know, so like we have to look at it from that perspective. But yes, always be very, very careful, you know, to how you cast judgment on somebody. You don't know innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, we know the league will not sway that way with domestic violence or with, gambling on premises. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't even know. I mean, Cleveland could do what the Bills did and just we don't want any part of this and just release them. They could release them.
Yeah.
And where's that? I mean, you better have some Samson, because if they just release him, then he's out in limbo. He's not on any team until he gets his day in court.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could happen too. I'm not saying it will, but it very easily could, because teams don't want to be, nobody wants to be associated with any type of domestic violence.
Yep. All right, hold on. Hang tight there, Ron. Just mute yourself. You can swing back in at any point. Rock out, you're live. Everybody else stay muted if you could. Hello.
What up, Smitty?
What's up?
Yeah, I think we got to see the facts on the arrest and all that, but even before that, I was thinking more times than not Samson, and I was only thinking Judkins like in a bind. And I think he had, even without the situation, I think he was like the Monty role, and Samson was like a Gibbs role. But on top of that, you had Ford on the heels. So we'll see how everything goes from there.
Yep. We'll see, my bro. We'll see. Ford's interesting, though. He really is, because he's such a dynamic player. And I think comparing Jerome Ford to, I think I have a graphic. Let's give Ford the respect he deserves and put him on screen here for a second. Ford is, my comparison to Chuba is, I think, a really good one. I really think it is, because they very much have been successful. Or if we're looking at, let's say Ford becomes what Chuba became. Pre-becoming Chuba Hubbard as we know him now, Ford has done just as much, if not more, than Chuba did leading into that kind of new found value. So I think it's very easy to act like Chuba's, no, Smitty, Chuba's so much better. Yeah, it's easy to say that right now. But if you go back when Jonathan Brooks was drafted, that moment in time, you thought Chuba Hubbard was a trash bag. You know, there was not a person that anybody was excited about long term because the future was just drafted. Now, I wasn't on Jonathan Brooks. I just wasn't. Especially coming off injury. No way that was something I was super excited about. But, you know, I think the only caveat here, or the obstacle, I guess, in the road of Ford becoming that, is that you have two young players. And if Quinshon Judkins doesn't work out for whatever reason, Dylan Sampson's there to take a swing at it. And I just think the Browns aren't going to set both those futures aside. Jonathan Brooks got injured again, tore his other ACL. You know, so it's not like they may have given him more of a shot again had he gotten healthy from the first ACL tear that he got drafted with. So who knows how this will go. I just think Ford's an interesting player, but there is a lot more in his way than was in the way of Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard was there by necessity, and he delivered. You know, he delivered in amazing fashion. All right, hang tight, rock out. Let me swing back over to a couple of the other callers. Let's go over to Scott. You're live.
Hey, sorry, Smitty, I missed the beginning of it. So you answered my question with Ron.
Finish him.
I wasn't sure about the domestic violence and how quickly that can go through. Because my first reaction was, well, he won't even get in trouble, but you answered that. So
I mean, the thing is, you don't know. You have no idea how this is going to go down because the dust hasn't even collected yet to settle to let us decide. So to really kind of talk it out, I would say that until we hear from his side of the story, which will come by way of representation, and the representation will say something along the lines of, he's innocent, we're very excited to prove his innocence, and probably what you're going to hear something along the lines of that. And then we got to decide how much of that we believe to be true. Or is there such bad evidence that we'll soon find out about? Evidence that was so bad, as BBQ alluded to and as I alluded to at the beginning of the live stream, was so bad to keep him held overnight, to see a judge in the morning, which is what happens when you're staying in jail overnight, that you see a judge immediately in the morning, even on a Sunday. That is not a good start to trying to break this thing down. So
sounds like somebody's got a black eye at a bare minimum.
Well, this is not good. And if what put him in there overnight is without dispute, then he's probably looking at a suspension by the league. And I don't know that it has to come to any conclusion for it to happen. And the fear of something happening before the punishment's handed out is also in play here. Because with a gambling or a potential domestic violence, he could go on the commissioner exempt list. And we got a lot of time, though, for this thing to get worked out. But if it didn't get worked out for any reason, he could literally be taken out of play and then the punishment be determined later, which adds more time. So it's hard to really know how it's going to go down. But if anybody thinks that this situation, he can't look at league punishment until it all plays out, that's not the case. It's often the case, but it's not the case with this situation. And especially with civil stuff, they'll totally let the whole civil trial come to a conclusion before they step in and make a determination. And the league will still step in. Even if the civil case ends in a settlement, the NFL most likely will hand down punishment on a settlement if they believe that the personal conduct policy was put in, they violated it, or they put the league in bad light. If they made decisions that were bad for the look of the league can hand down punishment. This is not something where people have, I don't know, it's weird how people act like, you know, things can't go in a direction that they haven't seen before with the commissioner, or the league does this a certain way. The league can do whatever they want. Roger Goodell, remember with the Deshaun Watson situation? No, it was Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara situation. he put someone in charge independently to make decisions that was his right-hand man. It's like, oh, I'm going to step away, and my right-hand man, who's a puppet, I've got him on my arm, he's going to make the call. This is the commissioner just tried to get the tush-push ban.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I remember when
I feel sorry for the Browns fans, man. They can't catch a break for nothing.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if old boy made that trade that we talked yesterday, Walker for Judkins before this news came out. I wonder if he went ahead and did that trade.
Which one?
Remember, he was doing the Walker and the Judkins. We did. What side did we?
Oh yeah. Last night we told him.
Charbonnet?
Yeah, we told him to go get Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he did it before this news came out.
Yeah, hey, who was that, by the way? If you're out there, please let us know if you got Walker. We'll be happy to hear that you did.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to get out of here, Smitty.
All right, later.
Fiance's calling, so I got to go.
All right, later. All right, Scott, anything else?
Nah, take care, man.
All right, later.
Are you coming back tonight?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Bye. Probably not, because it's an hour before midnight now. It's less than an hour before midnight now. So, probably.
Smitty, remember with the.
Go ahead.
Remember when this happened, but with Ray Rice, and he only got suspended 2 games, and then Roger Goodell came down and just said no, because the pressure came on him.
Yeah. The Goodell can do whatever he wants, and again, this is a situation where this isn't going to fall parallel to other situations where it's like, okay, he got in a bar fight, and they're going to let it play out, or, he got arrested driving 120 miles per hour, or he potentially, was involved in a impaired driving situation. They let things play out. But they don't let things play out typically with domestic violence, especially when it involves something that is very bad for the league in terms of, optics. If it was a domestic violence with his cousin Jeffrey, it'd be different. But this could be very, very different depending on what had actually gone down, what had actually happened. So if I look at it, I'm going to keep refreshing to see if there's anything else going on here. Let me see if I can find any more news on this. It's all pretty much the same. Browns rookie running back Quinshon Judkins arrested on domestic violence. Nothing new there. Waiting to see a judge in the morning. There was a report earlier talking about it being what I read just a second ago was like a touch and battery type of description. So it sounds like what Scott just said. Somebody has some physical harm done to them because it was called a touch and battery. It could be somebody got thrown to the ground. It could be something smaller. We don't know. This could. I don't want to say that this thing could go away necessarily. But you never know. You never ever know. Anything else, bro?
I got one more question, but it doesn't involve them. Which one would you rather have, JK or Najee?
Let's see. That's a real tough one, bro. That's a real tough one. Do I have Harvey?
Yeah, you can combo either Hampton or Harvey.
Probably Najee. I don't know. I guess if I had Harvey already on my team, I'd take JK. But if I'm going and targeting players, I don't know. Honestly, neither. I'd rather take a shot at a different player. It's almost like a trick question. I could answer it, but I'm answering it forcing myself to eat broccoli without like a pile of cheese on it, nacho cheese. I'll eat broccoli with nacho cheese, but I probably wouldn't eat just broccoli. You know what I mean? So no matter what, you like broccoli, or do you like anchovies uncooked? Like I'm going to say neither. I'm going to go get a slice of pep down the street. But give me a different player.
Right.
This question I didn't answer yet. Joe, are you still there? Joe, I'm so sorry it's been sitting here. It's a great question, though. Joe, you still here? Smitty, you taking Samson over Brashard Smith? God, the answer is no. The answer is the midseason monster that is Brashard Smith is slightly a better option to me than the midseason monster that is Dylan Samson. Joe, great question. Joe is still here. That's such a great question. And honestly, it's the only question that is a little bit, shall I say, I don't want to say hypocritical is the wrong word. I would say kind of out of place with my take and advice that you don't want to pass on drafting Dylan Samson in a certain territory. Brashard Smith gets drafted a lot later than where Dylan Samson will now get drafted. So it's kind of a trick question. It's kind of a draft Dylan Samson earlier, okay? And then don't draft Brashard Smith where you're drafting Dylan Samson. You used to draft him neck and neck. Dylan Samson and Brashard Smith had identical ADP prior to this today's situation. Samson's going to climb multiple rounds. Probably not 1 or 2, probably 3 or 4 rounds. And in that, you don't just pull Brashard Smith up with him. So smart drafters will say, give me Brashard Smith over Samson, but I'd rather just have both of them at their cost of entry, right? However, in let's say an underdog draft where you only draft 5-6 running backs, you can't have all these backups, that late anyway. So maybe you look at something to where it's like, I have Brashard Smith higher ranked, and I'd rather just, if I could only get one more running back, I've already rostered 4 or 5. I'm going to wait to draft Brashard Smith and take other players where Dylan Samson's going, if that makes sense. So it's not like an easy question to answer in a vacuum. It's like, I like Brashard Smith better, but I'm taking advantage of the ADP. Anything else, Bruce?
Yeah, I got one more.
All right.
Where do you think, with Brashard Smith, Dylan Samson, where do you put Scottaboo with them? Like, is he right in there with them?
Not Samson. Brashard Smith still gets drafted way later, but I like him the most, quietly. And so same advice applies. Do I take Scottaboo? Not every time, even though I draft him higher than Brashard Smith, and I try and get both of them. So like in a rookie setting or a league where, I guess a league where potentially I can roster as many running backs as I want. I don't have to cut anybody. I'm definitely interested in drafting all of them at their cost of entry. But what I'm trying to say is if push comes to shove and I only can grab one running back, I think I'm still waiting cost of entry to get Brashard Smith over Cam Scottaboo and over Samson right now. But they're all 3 very intriguing players. And I love all 3 of them, bro. I love all 3 of them. They all have such value. Such value, man.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later, Smitty.
Yep. All right, man. Later, bro.
Yep.
Who else is on the phone line here? We've got Rock out. Then we got a 808 caller. 808, you're live. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Hey, Smitty, it's Scott from Hawaii. How's it going?
What's up, Scotty Doo? I still got to add you in, bro. So.
Hey. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I guess it dodged the ball a little bit yesterday when I made that trade for Walker because I already had Sharps on the bench. I gave him
you were the guy.
Judkins,
you were the guy. You were old boy.
Ron Ford was available, so I grabbed Ford anyways, which was pretty cool. I just dropped Lloyd and grabbed Ford, so I thought that was pretty smart.
Yeah, bro. But Ron Navy, I don't know if you just heard Ron Navy. He said he called you old boy. He didn't remember who it was. Like, hey, remember old boy yesterday called up and hopefully listened to us, and he went and got Walker instead of Judkins. So yeah, I like that. I like that for you. Now you gave up Samson and Judkins, so Samson could still end up being marvelous, from the situation. But maybe it's still very cloudy. Ford's still in the mix, as I said, and I'd much rather have Walker. Yeah, so you still did a great trade, bro.
Yep. I picked up Ford, like I said, so I stashed it just in case anything happens, and at least to keep them away from other folks. But hey, man, I appreciate you. You're awesome, Smitty. I'm gonna continue listening to the show today. Just at work right now, getting that grind.
I'm a boy.
All right, man. You take care, dude.
All right. Rock out. Final thoughts, my man.
What do you think about stacking the Kansas City backfield?
Yeah, Pacheco goes very, very late, so I like that. I like that a lot. I'm fine with that. Yeah, guys, let's do an underdog draft real quick. Let's see here. Let me see what draft we could jump in. We could jump into a draft here in a little bit. Everybody, click this link and sign up on Underdog promo code Smitty. We might do a draft here in a few minutes, so I'll give people time to sign up. Hit that link right there. The link is pinned in the live chat. If anybody wants to play Underdog Fantasy right now, they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000, but the minimum is only $10. So you do a $10 deposit, they'll give you $5. So you'll have $15 to play, and the drafts are on Underdog. They're the ones what we'll be doing. I don't know if we'll do a $10 weekly or if we'll do a puppy. We could do a puppy potentially. A puppy would be fun, but hang tight. We'll jump into one in just a few minutes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, rock out. What were you going to say?
Yeah, you basically answer my question about the KC backfield.
Oh yeah. So cuffing that backfield's pretty cheap. So I definitely don't mind it at all. I like grabbing it, especially late, but it's a tough thing to to gauge, But I think what I love is having Brashard Smith no matter what. And if I've got all these other pieces, I don't necessarily need Pacheco. But if I'm going late running back 2, I'll go Pacheco and Brashard Smith. I think it's a really good combo. But then you need to have like Jaden Blue and Charbonnet and a couple other players to rotate through and get those maybe next Bucky Irvings and Jaden Blue and Ray Davis. A lot of these midseason monster players that you see on the screen right here, you pair Pacheco and Brashard Smith with a couple of these guys like Bigsby Tootin, Charbonnet, Mason, Garendo, Scattaboo, Benson, Ray Davis. These are midseason monsters like I've never seen before. I feel like this midseason monster board looks marvelous. Such a good looking crew.
And you would rather get a Mason just alone?
Yep. I don't need cuffs. You don't need to cuff everything. There are very, very good cuffs in fantasy, but people that say you should cuff or shouldn't cuff, it's hogwash. It depends on the situation entirely.
Right. That's about it.
All right, my boy. Call back if you got another one.
All right, cool.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Supernovas.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas. They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8 supernovas. I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Yep. Thank you, Scribs. I appreciate you, Scribbles. Yeah, so Underdog Fantasy, let's jump into a draft here. There is the code Smitty. The link is right here. The link's in the description of every single video, my people. Every single video. There it is. I dropped it again. It's pinned in the live chat. Underdog fantasy, they'll match your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, 50%. So if you drop 500, they'll give you 250. If you drop 1,000, they'll give you 500. You drop 2,000, they'll give you 1,000, all the way up to $1,000. But you do the bare minimum $10, they'll give you 5, and you'll be able to do, you know, 3 $5 drafts on there if you want. Steven, you're live. What can I do for you?
What's up, Smitty? So my question is, you know, we've seen this same old tune with people, you know, players getting arrested. I didn't follow you beginning of this segment. So arrested players, he probably won't serve any suspension this year, right? We've seen this before, where Roger Goodell lets us play out. Alvin Kamara played a whole season, and then it was the next year. You know, I think Rasheed Rice.
Let me just stop you there, because we've covered this already in extensive detail on the show. No, with gambling and with domestic violence, it's very, very much treated different depending on the severity and the optics of the situation. Roger Goodell and the Browns could easily make a move and do something now. It's not always the case where the legal process has to play out before the league will take action. That is the way that most civil matters are handled. So if somebody's going after like Deshaun Watson civilly, that wasn't a criminal. The criminal case was brought to the attention of the DA, and the DA shot down the criminal aspect. Real quickly, everybody, let's get into an eliminator. Go to Underdog, hover over the eliminator, and select the eliminator green button. Do it now. And let's jump into eliminator draft. So yeah, it's very much going to be case by case, but if it is something like where this is his cousin Jeffrey that he beat up at a barbecue, it probably is going to be looked at differently. But if it is something with bad optics, they'll certainly have the ability. Roger Goodell could commission or exempt list anybody. They'll probably commission or exempt list him paid, and that's the way of saying, go handle this. We'll cover you. We're on your side until this becomes a problem, and then we'll make a decision. So
yeah, he violated the code of conduct rule, which is a six-game suspension. First offense, I believe, right? That's how it goes.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it could be anything Goodell wants it to be.
Yeah, and I was thinking it wouldn't be this year.
No.
And then I'm a Browns fan, so regardless, you know, I know we're talking about fantasy football, but I'm a Browns fan. We all know how the Browns are going to do. Kevin Stefanski's going to want to run the ball, at least try. But we're going to be trailing in games, so we're going to be trailing. So regardless, Jerome Ford, Samson, whoever you want to play, they're not going to give you much value because we are going to be trailing in games. We are going to be losing.
Right, and that's why
you know what I mean?
That's why Dylan Sampson is such an attractive piece, bro. Because Dylan Sampson is a pass catching option. This is what I've said from the beginning. Is Dylan Sampson's the running back to own? Because number one, he's already been anointed the PPR portion of this rushing attack. And you're right, they're going to be down. They're going to be thrown to Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson has got 1/3 kung fu grip, I believe, on this job. This draft started already. Hold on. Let's go with this is an eliminator, which means that you're going up against the first 6 pass through the first week 1. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb. And then from that point on, you're 1 versus 1. 1v1 the entire way. So that means that every week, half of all of the contestants get eliminated. Then the next week, it's 1v1. Half of all the contestants get eliminated. You win a 1v1 battle all the way to the final week 17 game. And instead of being 1v1 in week 17, you're 3 people left all versus each other. The highest score in that week 17 wins. So it's this initial group together, and then the top 6 out of week 1 advance. And that eliminates half of all the entrants, right? So now everybody's in one big bucket. Half the people are left. Then it's 1v1. Everybody's matched up against one person. And then they keep eliminating one. It's a fun little contest. You got to be very mindful of bye weeks, all of that. So this is kind of a fun tournament. And one reason I joined in this one was because we haven't done one in a while. And let's see what this does to our Dylan Sampson value, you know, with the anticipation of him needing to be utilized maybe a little bit more than just, okay, I don't care if he pops off in week 8. You kind of need all these players to help you win each week, so you got to be more mindful. All right, last thing, Steven, real quickly. But yeah, I do agree with you that you guys will be playing from behind, sure. But Ford's an interesting pass catcher too, though. So like he will be in the mix. I'm not saying Samson takes over everything right away, but Samson's been told sky's the limit. You're going to be, he's a very good player. He's amazing.
Man,
Judkins is not in a good.
And we don't even know who our quarterback is, and so we got to pull back a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Judkins,
because I don't even know what quarterback may even throw to a running back. He may not check down to him.
All right, my boy.
Depending on who it is.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck.
You know what I mean?
Call back when the dust settles. We'll talk about what we have right in front of us once we know. All right, later, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Samson's the guy to own. We'll see what I do with this, situation. Will I take Samson anywhere? Let's see where he goes. Up on the board, look, did Bucky already get taken? No. Okay, so Bucky's there. Gotta go Bucky. I like Bowers a lot here. Rashee Rice is nice, but I'm gonna go Lamb, Bucky. Very, very solid. Get Bucky. Do it live.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Buckied.
We got Bucky and Lamb. My bye weeks, I've got to be mindful. My 2 top players are bye week 9 and bye week 10. You don't want them all at the same time because you get knocked out that week. Thank you, Matt Huff. Appreciate you. Matt Huff says Judkins is innocent. Matt, how many? First of all, I love that Matt posted this after he posted. Where was it? This right here. So Matt, very good usage of your order of comment dropping. Very good. He says Smitty is awesome, straight up, and then Judkins is innocent. He didn't want me to blast him. This is a very, very smart approach. Matt's my boy anyway. Matt, I appreciate you. Awesome follower on this channel, so I'm not gonna blast you anyway. But I will say that is a man that owns about 17 Quinshon Judkins shares right there. He's a man. I think even saw Matt right. He's a man of the law, right? Or no, I think you just said he's still the man. I thought maybe I saw a man of the law. I might have wanted to see that. All right, Garrett Wilson and Kyron are there. I feel great about this next pick. McBride's, I like McBride a lot too, but Kyron or Garrett Wilson, I'm fine either way. Love both of them. I'm gonna struggle to decide which one if they're both on the board. I love Kyron though. Okay, McBride. So guys, Kyron or Garrett? By week 8, by week 9. So I'm kind of, no matter what, I'm taking one of the players that's on this. I'm going to go Kyron just because it's eliminator and I want those touchdowns, man. I want those to, Garrett Wilson, I think he'll be consistent, but I want those touchdowns from Kyron. Bucky and Kyron and CD Lambs in an eliminator is a fantastic start. You know the deal. You know the guy.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the motherfucker.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
My son played with him in high school. Your impression of him could not be more inaccurate. Quinshon loves him some Quinshon. Totally self-centered. Says, okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else in there. I think you might be talking to Matt. I know you're talking to me about it, but I'm not defending Quinshon Judkins. I don't know if that's true, but if you say so. But I do know that Dylan Samson is a man of the law. Dylan Samson is a man of the law. He wouldn't dare raise a hand. Dylan Sampson's, he's too shifty anyway to be in a situation like that. He just sidestep and get out of there. My boy Dylan. Dylan to the moon. Anybody ever heard of Dylan Sampson? Anybody ever heard of this guy? He's a mid-season monster. Him and Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith stole the stage on a Dylan Sampson video. We started talking about him. Dylan Sampson, mid-season monster. Do it live. Man of the law. Law dog. This one isn't right, what I'm about to do. Hold on. Let me make this pick first. Chuba Hubbard there. We talked about Chuba, but I keep going Hunter here over and over and over. You know, Hurts isn't bad. But these other quarterbacks keep falling. You know what? I'll do it. I'll just do it. I don't have a lot of Jalen Hurts. As much as you hear me talk about how I think he's not as good of a passer, he's still fantasy football scorer. He's still top 5 QB. We'll go Jalen Hurts here. Hurts, Kyron, Bucky, and Hurts has a bye week of 9. So we got 9, 9, 8, 10. So, which is kind of good in a way because you're heading down a direction of like not having anybody sit. You keep eliminating people when you get to week 8, 9 before you even worry about it. This feels wrong, but.
Wanted.
I mean, okay, I'll leave it alone. I was going to time out too, so I had to make a pick. I also didn't want to draft Travis Hunter way too early because he's probably, well, I'm in Snipe City with a few of you in here. Probably likely that he could fall. I don't know in our community. If you guys want to draft, underdog promo code Smitty. Do it live. The link's pinned in the live chat.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run.
Denny, where are you, Denny? Denny, please call in. We miss Denny so much. We haven't heard from Denny in so long. Man, Hunter's not ranked high on the eliminator at all. On the clock here, Joe B's there. Harvey's there. We'll go Harvey here. I got Bucky, Kyron, Jalen Hurts, Harvey, CD. Is it possible that Travis Hunter, who is 5 picks away, 4 picks away on ADP, falls to me here? If not, Debo's there. I'm fine with that as well. Hunter's the 3rd ranked, the 2nd ranked guy now. All it takes is somebody not to need a wide receiver. This guy has 3 wide receivers already. He may go RB. He goes Monty. Hunter's the top ranked player. I don't know if this is a snipe friendly. Okay, Debo went. So Travis Hunter. Woo! 6th round Travis Hunter, 5th round RJ Harvey, Jalen Hurts at 43, doing it live like an outlaw, like a mother freaking outlaw, doing it live, cooking.
Let him cook.
Woo! Woo! You are live, David.
Yo, you having a good draft? I'm watching you live.
Bro, this draft is smashing. Lamb, Bucky, Kyron,
that's pretty sick.
Hurts, Harvey, Hunter. Doing it live.
Travis Hunter in the 6th. I haven't seen that too much.
Yeah. Now,
Wild.
this is an eliminator, and I think the thinking is that he could take a while to get going, so people are afraid to take him for a week 1 loss or week 2 loss, you know. So Travis Hunter, in fairness, in all honesty, I can understand why he's a little doubted, given that people don't like him in general. So it makes sense that he falls a little bit, but this, yeah, that's filthy. Even if like it takes a while, let's say, for whatever reason, I'm going to draft other players to support him, so he'll be fine. My team will still win. Not to mention, I love to bully QB, so I'm probably going to do that here shortly, and then that will allow me to have so much scoring, you know, because having 2 monster quarterbacks is fantastic in really any best ball draft. But go ahead, bro. What can I do for you?
You ever do auction leagues, just out of curiosity? You like the auction leagues or no?
We don't do auction drafts live because for some reason it pisses off more viewers than in people like. They just, I don't know, people hate the slowness of it, but I do auction content. Anytime someone calls, they can talk about anything they want, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I put the onus on the callers. Be like, people go, you should do more content around this. I'm like, just call in and make a segment out of it on the fly. So if you got auction questions, you know, ask me. Hit me with it.
Well, I'm in a league with 2 flexes, 2 quarterbacks, and then the 2 running backs, 2 wideouts, tight end. What do you think the strategy should I go in with a 250? The salary cap's 250 for the auction league, and then we got to keep the salary cap all year round. Would you go heavy on quarterbacks or?
So Superflex.
What would you?
Superflex. Okay.
Yeah.
I would go.
But there's also another flex too, though. So there's 2 flexes.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 quarterbacks, not Superflex. It's 2 quarterbacks.
2 mandatory.
2 flexes.
Okay. So I'm getting Mahomes and Knicks, but I'm not nominating them until all the other big dogs are off the board and the money's been spent. Like, you don't want to throw Knicks out there or Mahomes out there early. Let other people nominate them later. If you're on the board, nominate Josh Allen. Nominate big money so that people start spending and then penny pinching later. But I think Bo Nix and Mahomes would be, you know, probably the 2 best quarterbacks you could get that were at least the cheapest of that group.
You like Dre May this year? Because I know him and
I like
Bo
him.
Nix get a lot of
I
comparisons.
like him.
Do you like? Obviously, you like Bo Nix better because you named him first, though, right? Out of Dre May,
I like Bo Nix as a top 5-6 quarterback this year, bro.
top 5.
He was 7 last year. How's that surprising to you? He was 7.
I know, but sometimes rookies go off.
You
like
mean,
how,
bro? Come on. You
last
didn't know that. You didn't know it. Now you hear it. You're like, okay. Well,
No, I didn't. You're right. I didn't. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was top 7. You're right.
All right. Well, in 6 point per TD, he was 7. You know who was number 9 in 6 point per TD?
Was it Rodgers? Something? I know it's something crazy.
Jalen Hurts. Bo Nix outscored Jalen Hurts last year in 6 point per TD leagues. Just saying, bro. Put some respect.
That is surprising.
Yeah. All right, bro. Got to go. But call in with auction content. I'll try and do an auction show. Okay.
Yeah, you should at least do one just to rank the guys what you would maybe around the price range you think they should go or something like that. That'd be cool.
All right.
But I love your content either way. I seen you just got Mahomes the last round, so that's nice. Him and Jalen.
All right.
Very nice.
All right, later.
All right, take it easy. I bet.
This is good here. So teams so far: Lamb, Travis Hunter, Egbuka are my wide receivers. Bucky, Kyron, and RJ Harvey. Jalen Hurts and Mahomes are the QBs. The bye week situation is Hurts 9, Mahomes 10, Bucky 9, Kyron 8, Harvey 12. No running backs with the same bye weeks. Wide receivers are 10, 8, and 9. So beautiful placement of the bye weeks. Lamb, Hunter, Egbuka, Bucky, Kyron, Harvey, Mahomes, Jalen. Loving the squad. And this is eliminator again. This group of 12, it gets narrowed down to 6 after week 1. So you get eliminated. The bottom 6 get eliminated. The top 6 can move forward. Having Hurts and Patrick Mahomes alone, I think is going to put me in the top 6. Just because quarterbacks score so much. Then, on top of that, you go 1v1 versus people from that point on. My strategy is, and I'm not even scared to take Bo Nix with this next pick. I do like Dak, though, with my CeeDee Lamb. Bo Nix went. I'd be very, very intrigued by taking Bo Nix here and having Mahomes, Bo Nix, and Hurts in an eliminator where I'm constantly just blasting one team at a time because it's 1 versus 1 the entire way to week 17. And then in week 17, you're not in a bucket of 100 people. You're in a bucket of 3. It's 3 people that are left. Let's go Kelsey because we have Mahomes. I think that's a good pick here. So now I got my tight end. My team is as follows. I've got CeeDee Lamb, and I'm in the middle there at the 5 spot. CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, Kyron, Jalen Hurts, RJ Harvey, Travis Hunter, Pat Mahomes, Egbuka, and Kelsey. Freaking fire squad. Unbelievable. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run.
Where are we at in this draft? 3 picks away. Keon Coleman, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, baby. Ray Davis in the house, man. That's our Jordan Mason this year, basically. I'm gonna go Sharbs. I love me some Charbonnet. Charbonnet, RJ Harvey, Kyron Williams, and Bucky. I mean, come on, man. CD, Bucky, Kyron, Hurts, Harvey, Travis Hunter, Patrick Mahomes, Egbuka, Travis Kelsey, Zach Charbonnet.
These outlaws are on the run. Wanted.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I keep taking wide receivers, but I'm sorry, running backs, and I need wide receivers. I've got 3 already, which is fine. I got 4 RBs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end. I'm not like imbalanced or anything really, but we're getting to the point where I get to this wide receiver dry zone where they're good options. I mean, Trey Harris is somebody I'm considering right here. But it's such a dry spell for me here for wide receiver. Or not, it's not dry. I just don't love the value comparatively to the other positions. It feels like home run shots are being made at the RB position, and the wide receivers are stabs in the dark that are very equivalent to the stabs in the dark down below. So I'd rather just wait and draft these more home run smashing running backs like, you know, even a Benson, a Garendo, a Jaden Blue. These are all better than the players going right here where I'm on the clock. You know what I mean? These guys are all better than the wide receivers going right now. Trey Harris I like, though. If Trey Harris falls, I might take him over Ray Davis. Oh, this is a tough one. Just because I love Ray. My running backs are phenomenal right now. I'm going to go Trey Harris here just to protect my wide receiver room a little bit. So wide receivers are as follows. Trey Harris, Egbuka, Travis Hunter, and CeeDee Lamb. So I got Lamb, Bucky. Do I have this so you can see it? Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm the 5 slot. So everybody can see it. I got Lamb, Bucky, Kyron, Hurts, RJ Harvey, Travis Hunter, Pat Mahomes, Egbuka, Travis Kelce, Zach Charbonnet, and Trey Harris. A really, really good squad. Unbelievable team. Honestly, the best eliminator draft I've had by far. I love it. This is a home run squad. Just a home run filthy squad. Just disgusting. Thank you, Aldi. I'm doing my best. Aldi says I'm crushing it. I believe him. Aldi to the moon. Aldi, report to the moon, please.
To the moon.
And for anybody living under a rock here, this is what we're dealing with tonight, is this Quinshon Judkins arrest. Reportedly, he's in jail still. And for anybody living under a rock for the last handful of hours, this is what we're dealing with. Let me see. I'm on the clock in 3 picks. So let me just. A lot of people are saying there's video footage out. A lot of people saying it's fake. I don't see anything that looks legit yet that I'm willing to speak on or talk of until we find out, you know, that there's a legit video out there. I'm not gonna address it. I'll look into it tonight, and if there's more that breaks. Do I go Garendo or Benson? Go Garendo. Garendo is Zach Charbonnet. Let me show you the squad. Garendo, Zach Charbonnet. So Lamb, Bucky, Kyron, Hurts, Harvey, Travis Hunter, Patrick Mahomes, Egbuka, Travis Kelce, Zach Charbonnet, Trey Harris, Isaac Garendo. I love those running backs, man. Bucky, Kyron, Harvey, Zach Charbonnet, Garendo. It's unbelievable running back production right there. Yeah, people are saying that people are taking the Ray Rice video and they're saying it's Judkins. And the problem with that is, unless you're like a seasoned, you know, fantasy football veteran, you recognize that video from a mile away. Some of the teeny bopper new fantasy football people in the industry that weren't even alive, or they were sharding in their diapers, they don't recognize that. It's like you hear the MASH, you know, theme music, and you're, you know, 22 years old. You don't know what you're hearing. You hear MASH music, the theme song to MASH, when you're, you know, in your 30s or 40s. It's like, hey, you just get up and just walk. You just go straight to the TV. Like, come on, man. You can't fool us and put up a Ray Rice video and claim it's Judkins. We're not born yesterday. Matt Huff is still pushing the narrative bad. Matt, appreciate you. Man, what's my running back situation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could go one more RB. I'm gonna go Cam Ward and do it live. I'm doing Cam Ward doing it live. Do it live, Cam.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy. Almost didn't see that coming. I almost didn't click on quarterback. I was so hyper focused on RB. I almost let it ride too far. This is an eliminator, young man. And while Mahomes and Ward are the same by week 10, Jalen Hurts is 9, so we're covered there. But Ward gives me that rotational advantage now. I mean, this is a baller. This is a baller right here. This team is unreal. Up in 7 picks. I'll screenshot my team and put it on screen in a second. Kyle Pitts ain't a bad tight end 2 to grab. I'll probably grab Noah Gray at the last minute just to secure it up. And then I want another tight end to go along with him. And if I can make it happen, I want Brashard Smith later. I just don't know if I'll have room. Kyle Pitts is by week 5, I believe. And Kelsey's, I think, 10. So it should be good if I grab Kyle Pitts. I don't know. Other tight ends available, Zach Ertz, Gesicki. Pitts is up there now as one of the higher ranked guys. Pat Bryant's a nice pick here. I like that as well. Running backs I don't need. I guess I'm going to go Kyle Pitts just to get some security and depth across all the positions. This is a really solid squad. There's literally no holes with this team. This team is very, very, very solid. So let me put this up on screen. And here we go. This team is fire. That's the running back stable. This is the wide receiver and tight end room. So Hurts, Mahomes, Cam Ward, Bucky, Kyron, Harvey, Sharps, Garendo, Lamb, Hunter, Egbuka, Trey Harris, Kelsey, Kyle Pitts. Woo! Pizza party on me. That's the sound of me on my horse. I like this, bro. This team is great. We're round 15. So 4 more picks. 4 more picks, and I need wide receivers. I need 1 backup tight end, which will be Noah Gray. Jonu's on the board, which is not bad. But I'm going to do this little safeguard move that I love to do so much. I got 2 super chats. I'm so sorry, Cody. Cody, you still here, bro? I'm so sorry I left yours up. Cody, where you at, bro? Cody's my boy. Travesty, thank you. My B-day today. Bucky, bath, please. Absolutely. Absolutely. Happy birthday.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Buckied. Thank you. Appreciate you, Travesty. Happy Bucky B-Day for you, pal. Cody, are you still here? I hope I didn't leave Cody in the lurch too long. Where's Cody at? Cody's here. Good. Okay, Cody's still here.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Cody's still here. PPR Dynasty, would you trade McBride, Devontae Smith, and Mooney for Loveland at 26 first and Bucky? Woo! You didn't say tight end premium, so let me answer it both ways. Thank you, Matt. I know the team's fire. It's great. It's pizza party time. PPR Dynasty, would you trade McBride, Devontae Smith, Mooney for Loveland, 26 first, and Bucky? If it's tight end premium, you didn't say. I would say that this becomes a even Steven trade because of how valuable McBride is. If it's non-premium, I'm smashing the Bucky side and I'm not even considering the other. It's an easy call for me. And I do try and trade Loveland on the high because I don't love Loveland as much as the average bear. So I am trying to get rid of him, honestly. We're going to go Thornton here. I think we're good at wide receiver now. And our bye weeks are 10, 8, 9, 12, 9, 8. So 2 bye week 8s, 2 bye week 9s, 1 12, an 8, and a 10. 2 8s, 2 9s, 1 12, a 10. Yeah, I'm fine. Running backs, I got 9, 8, 12, 8, 14. Good. Quarterbacks, my buys are 9, 10, 10. Tight ends are 10 and 5. So I really can do whatever the hell I want here. One of these picks will be Gray, unless I decide to roll with just the 2 tight ends, which I don't mind doing because I do believe in Kelsey and Pitts. But if Kelsey gets hurt before, well, I mean, Pitts' bye week is 5. I mean, I could survive that, but I do believe Noah Gray is a secret weapon. When you own Kelsey. All right, Scotty Do, we get the picture. You want to post your best team. If you got to tell people it's the best team 3 times in a row, Scotty Do, I don't know if it's going to be. J85, Genty, Kyron, Walker, Garendo, Sharps, Chubb, Lamb, Debo, Rice. I like it. Yeah, Grandma League drafting right there at its best. That is a good squad. That is a very The Fantasy Football-esque team, my boy. Very, very good job. We have enough wide receivers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're spread out. We can do the extra RB here, and then Noah Gray. Or if I don't want Noah Gray, I could grab another wide receiver like Tesla if I want, like a spike week wide receiver. I think Tesla is a perfect fit for that. We could grab Jalen Royals if we want. We're gonna go, unless this is a sniper, we're going Brashard Smith right here. Brashard Smith, home run hitter. Do it live.
Let him cook.
You know how you notice how we didn't draft Samson? Damn it. Damn it. Is he still there? Where did he go? You know what? I didn't tell you guys this, but I kind of didn't want to draft Samson because I wanted to see how high he'd climb. You know what I mean? I wanted to see, because if I took him early, look at Ford. Ford went in the 16th round. He's climbing. Dylan Sampson 170 in round 15. So kind of glad I didn't and I wouldn't have taken him until, honestly, I wouldn't have taken Dylan Sampson until this McMillan pick. So he was gone when I went looking anyway. So it looks like round 15. He climbed from round 17, 18 to round 15 already. Wow. Wow. That's a climb like that. I'm glad we let him go to see where he would go. That now we kind of a good barometer of where he's going to go. I think he could climb as high as 13, 14 though within a couple days. It depends on how quickly people adjust to everything. Trevion Sanders is a nice tight end though to grab instead of just grabbing Gray. But I do like Noah Gray. The reason Noah Gray is so good is because I got Kyle Pitts as a second tight end. There's Sanders there. That solves my problem. But I love having Noah Gray, Kelsey as a safeguard combo. Let's go ahead and do it. Here's the team. Unbelievable squad. I couldn't be happier with this team. I think we only had 2 snipers in the building, and it didn't seem to get in the way too much in this draft. If anybody wants to draft alongside us next time, Underdog, code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit if you use code Smitty all the way up to $1,000, 50%. 50% up to $1,000. So if you deposit $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. The minimum's only $10, and they'll give you $5. You'll have $15 to use. Link is pinned in the live chat. Links in the description of the video, and the code is Smitty. The code Smitty gets it done as well. Look at this squad. Here's the RBs and runners. Here is the wide receiver and tight end room. This is an eliminator, so bye weeks are very important. How you build is very important. And this is insane. Look at this. Hurts, Mahomes, Cam Ward, Bucky, Kyron, Harvey, Sharbs, Garendo, Burchard Smith. We're taking people outside of the solar system potentially on this one. Lamb, Travis Hunter, Egbuka, Trey Harris, McMillan, Dante Thornton, Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts, Noah Gray. Very safely constructed team with a lot of upside. I couldn't be more pleased with how this outcome unfolded. It is quite a squad. Couldn't be happier with this squad. Very, very pleased. This might be the pizza party, ladies and gentlemen. On this particular contest, the eliminator, first place gets $200K. First place gets $200K.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Bring home the pizza party. Bring home the positive vibes. Doing it live. This is such a safe build. The Egbuka and Jalen McMillan, very solidly safe. Kelce and Gray, very good. Having these three quarterbacks, because you're 1v1 every week, you're going up against one person, just having this 1v1 advantage, like having the best quarterback room every week. I line up against somebody, I pretty much guarantee at best they can have an equal QB room to me. Bucky, Kyron, Harvey, Sharbs, Garendo, Burchard Smith. I'm safe with Bucky and Kyron. I'm as safe as can be. Harvey's going to get on his horse. Harvey's going to be probably my flex play every week. But until then, I've got shots in the dark at Garendo, Burchard Smith, Charbonnet, kind of in waiting. These guys, I believe, in the way you construct a team like this is that what if injury does strike? Like, I couldn't have three better players to put in the reserve as they potentially... their situations get better as the season moves along. Burchard Smith, his season gets probably better as he moves along. Garendo, McCaffrey probably gets hurt at some point. Garendo goes up and they'll be fresh all year. Charbonnet, same concept. So while these guys, something could happen, and the same thing with Harvey, really, but these two guys, Bucky and Kyron, knock on wood, if something was to happen, I've got a plethora of players that are in the exact opposite position where they're not getting tons of volume, but they soon will. So good transfer of potential, production on that. And then as far as the Egbuka with McMillan, very safe. Trey Harris is, I think, a very safe rookie wide receiver to have in your lineup each week if you needed it as your wide receiver 3. Travis Hunter, I love. Pop weeks like crazy. Maybe he is inconsistent. Maybe he's not. CeeDee Lamb, Dante Thornton is a swing. Kyle Pitts is nice, but I'm not counting on it. It's just, it's there if it happens. Rock out, you're live.
Can I give you this terrible thing?
Sure.
All right. Quarterback, Prescott, Stafford, Ward. Running back, Irving, Hubbard, Brian Robinson Jr., Charbonnet, Little Bill. Wide receiver, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Debo, Kyle Williams, Michael Wilson, Yoshi Vach. Tight end, Kelce, Goddard, and Ferguson.
Yeah, nice, bro. Like it. I like it, my man. Anything else tonight as we wrap up?
Actually got Hunter like late 5th round.
Nice, bro. Yeah, Eliminator is cool because you can get some of these values that I don't think you can really sniff in the other drafts right now. I almost feel like Eliminator is maybe the best sleeper environment right now. Could be wrong.
What's your second?
I don't know. Weeklies maybe. But I think Eliminator seems pretty good. But it's a different contest. But, you got to be aware of what happens in it. But I think it's a great little tournament. All right, rock out. See you tomorrow, my boy. Appreciate you calling in.
All right, cool.
Later, bro.
See ya.
All right, I'm out of here. What a team. What a team. If you guys want to draft, that code Smitty is in the live chat pinned. Do it live. Code Smitty gets it done. The link gets it done in the description. The link is also there for Underdog. Make sure you hit that if you're watching a replay. Not good. Not good. Panic Chamber, ladies and gentlemen. Panic Chamber in full effect, brought to you by the Addict.shop. Judkins is...
You are in the panic chamber.
Don't forget to get on over to my Patreon, $10 a month. Cancel any mother freaking time you want. $10 a month. It's the best 24-hour live chat, in my opinion. I know I'm biased, but it is just the best little environment known to man, if you ask me, because it is our same live chat group from the live chats here inside the Patreon, just waiting to talk, just waiting to get, into some fantasy football content and discussion. You got a trade that's pressing and you're worried about whether you should do it or not. You need instant advice. This is where you come. You grab this link that I just dropped. I'm going to pin the link. Make sure you get that other link clicked and get ready for Underdog tomorrow night. But here's the link to the Patreon. Such a great place to just hang out. Even if you're just like bored and you wanted to talk about like TV shows or something, or, let me see if I can pin this thing. It's not letting me pin it. There it is. All right. It's pinned in the live chat. It's $10 a month. Cancel anytime. I'm going to go in there right now, actually. And I'm going to type in the chat right now. Scott, I already did this. I'm going to remove your extra message. It's just in the way. Okay, just like posting Judkins news when we already got it all up above. All right, here we go. Predictions on Judkins and how it plays out. And then I'm going to type a message below saying go. All right, so I want all your guys' thoughts on the Judkins situation in Patreon. I just posted a live chat on it. It's just a live chat group. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's the best place, in my opinion, to be. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever big news breaks. We've got like 700 or 800 or something like that on Twitter right now. So if you're watching on Twitter, please get over to YouTube real quick. Subscribe, because all the gifted memberships, everything that's interactive is done on YouTube. And I want to make sure all my Twitter people who are watching right now are over on the YouTube channel. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I take phone calls live the entire show. This is the only place you need to go for not only fantasy football news. We are called the Fantasy Football Show, but we talk NFL news like nobody all day long. I'm live sometimes 3 times a day. Why? Because I'll show you. I'm live whenever big news breaks, like it states on the top of the screen. I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, like it states at the bottom of the screen. And I'm also live midnight Eastern, pretty much every night. That is the potential for 3-4 live shows per day. And all my videos that I upload, the short 8 to 12 minute videos, those get uploaded about 7:30 a.m. every day when I do them, and I'm trying to do them every day or at least 5 days a week. So there's just, like people say, Smitty, I am a fantasy football and NFL show connoisseur. I can't keep up with how much content you're creating. That is the point. More content than you can handle. That is the slogan. See you all tomorrow. See you on Patreon too. Thank you to my super chatters, by the way. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, Sim Valley. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Travesty. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, everybody on X. My people on X, get over to YouTube, please. Subscribe. We need you. Deuce.